Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dixon, and it's another 95X Live. Today, we're going to be joined by Nothing Nowhere, the man in real life who walks around with the name of Joe, but performs under the name Nothing Nowhere. The new single is called Pieces of Me. It happens to be one of my absolute favorite songs at the present moment. And I see that we've got a request, so we're going to jump in. Go in here, and we will get rolling because I'm so excited for this. One of my favorite prominent artists of the present moment. Joe, how are you today, sir?
Hello,
Thank you so much for taking the time to
how's it
sit
going?
and chat today, man. We really appreciate it. Everything's great here. How are you?
Doing good. We're on the road. We're playing night 2 in Buffalo right now. Um, and yeah, we got a whole lot more dates to go. I think like 17 more dates to go.
Very cool. Well, tonight's show's at the Town Ballroom. You're performing with All Time Low. In my opinion, the best double bill that's out there touring right now. If things were different and the world was a little safer place, I would probably be making that trek out there because you're only a couple
Yeah.
hours away from where I am right now. Uh, Kudos to you and congratulations on Pieces of You, man. That song is literally the hookiest thing that I've put ears on all year long. I remember Millman playing it for me before it was released, and I couldn't get it out of my head for days. Like
Uh,
it's that earworm, and it brings out like my inner 2000s hardcore kid because you mentioned Dashboard Confessional, and whether it was intentional or not, there's also kind of a little wink and nod to an old Norma Jean song with a line in there as well that just kind of makes me bringing a
no,
knife to a
really.
gunfight from their single, creating something out of nothing only to destroy it. Like,
Norma Jean
um,
sick.
so,
Yeah.
so for me, it's so cool to see. Uh, it would be silly to not say there's a pop punk resurgence right now, and there's some bands out there that I think are doing a great job with it. Like Hot Mulligan's one of my favorite new artists as well. But like, I think that a lot of times some people, especially the writers, have a tendency to get locked up on that punk part of it and sometimes forget about the pop part of it. And I think you're writing the best hooks in the genre as far as
Thank you.
2021 goes, man. You have a sensibility and an honesty to your performance and your lyrics that connects on such a real level that you just don't see every day. And man, I've got to say, like, it really strikes a chord with me. Also, knowing that you're straight edge and vegan, and coming from Syracuse, where that stuff was, pretty common. It's
Hey.
not common out there in the world for a lot of people. So you deserve a lot of credit for not only bringing those ideologies to the mainstream, but for also living that life, which is not always hard, especially as a touring musician.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the kind words and thank you guys so much for spinning the record. Yeah, no, in terms of just like being straight edge and vegan and everything, like I don't know, just it's like you said, it reminds you of being a hardcore kid, and like that's kind of how I grew up, DIY shows and growing up outside of Boston, listening to Have Heart and bands like that. It's just an ethos that I adopted when I was very young, and it's just second nature now as an adult.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned Have Heart too, because from that era, they are by and far my favorite band. I mean, I know that they always kind of get tagged as a posy band, but uh, some of those Have Heart shows over the years are some of my fondest memories.
Yeah, legendary, absolutely legendary. Pat Flynn, like Bridge Nine, yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Now, the other thing I want to touch on, because you're so open about it, is the fact that you do have, and I'll be honest too, man. I also am a dude that suffers from anxiety, and sometimes it can get the best of us. I love how open and honest you are about it. I saw the post you made earlier this week on Facebook about it, and it's something that we all struggle with. But I love how you address it because it's not just a me and you problem. This is something that affects so many people. And up until recently, it wasn't something that was sort of okay to talk about. It almost felt like it was demonized to a degree. So, again, just thank you for being so open and honest with a young fan base that I think now has the ability to also identify as having some of these same issues and not feeling quite so alone from it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It's like you said, it's not just a me and you thing. Like it's so many people kind of deal with the same thing, and panic attacks and mental health issues, and yeah, it's less taboo rather. these days. And for me, like, I don't know, it's just always, I've always just been open about it. I don't have to pretend to be something that I'm not, or pretend like I'm some sort of like, you know, go-getter guy who like nothing affects him. Like, you know, like, especially, you know, I made that post the other day, like, you know, being on tour is hard for me. But I don't know, I feel like if I'm honest with other people, like, it can inspire them to be like, okay, like, I don't have to put up a wall, I don't have to put up a shield, I can, like, you know, reach out and talk to friends if I'm not feeling okay. And like, that should be the norm, and I think we're getting closer to like that is becoming the norm. Like, so
Absolutely. The stigma just needs to go away. We're all human beings. We all suffer from the same things. You know, it's difficult
yeah.
to sit back and watch people feel like they don't have a voice. And again, I'm just so stoked that you've created a safe space for an audience to express themselves and have sort of that mind share. Now, prior to Pieces of You, there were a couple of songs you did that were both collaborations that I fell in love with. Death Wish, that you did alongside Stand Atlantic, and then Blood with Kenny Hoopla. Both songs are standouts to me. And I wonder, as somebody who's collaborated with quite a few people in the past, if you have sort of a wish list of people that you want to collaborate with in the not so distant future.
Man, I think I don't. It's hard because like, I'm not someone who's like really just going to do a collab because someone has a big name or something. Like, if someone is really popping or famous or whatever and sends a track, like, I just gravitate towards good music. And I think that's kind of what happened with Stan Atlantic and Kenny, is like, I just think that the record was good, the song's good. So I don't think I have any like names, but I always have, like, if I hear a song and it blows me away, I'm like, yeah, like, absolutely, I want to hop on this. Like, not to say, like, you know, Fall Out Boy wanted to do something else or Blink wanted to do something, like, you know, I'd love to hop on that for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you were one of the first of Travis's sort of young collaborators.
Yeah.
Was it 2016, 2017? And he's sort of gone on at this point to sort of be, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the curator of sort of the new pop punk explosion, you know, whether it's with smaller artists like Casper or Willow, but also, you know, collaborating again with, you know, Blink and then doing all of his own stuff.
Yeah.
How is it now in hindsight to see how much Travis has really started to like impact and affect the scene as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We made our EP some years back, and it was kind of like a new thing, and everyone was so psyched in it. But I think what a lot of people forget is Travis has always been, he's always had kind of a hand in a lot of different collaborative like endeavors. Going back to like Give the Drummer some, like, he was always working with rappers. He was always showing up in just random band stuff. So, but now it's just a complete, like, I feel like he's made his own genre, and it's kind of insane to see what he's done and just how much he records. Like, I'll be at his studio and he'll be coming from a session at our session, and then he'll have 2 sessions after. Like, he really doesn't leave the studio, and that's really inspiring. So who knows? I hope to be as active as he is, you know, when I'm his age as well, for sure, within music.
Absolutely. And I think you will be. You've got the foundation built, and you're such an amazing songwriter that, in my opinion, I think you're here for the long haul, man. I think you're a legend in the making, if you don't mind me saying so. Now, I know you've got a tour head up in January of next year, headed to the UK with Neck Deep. I know that they're one of the biggest bands at the format right now. How stoked are you to get back to the UK now that things have sort of settled a little bit with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been, I mean, even being on the road now, it's been 2 years since I've even been on tour. So it's like, it's been a shock getting back on the road. And then I'm like, well, we're here. I always love going to the UK. I think the shows there always go crazy. The fans are super receptive, and the food is good too. So I'm stoked about that. But yeah, it's been a minute. It feels like I'm touring for the first time ever again. But shout out to Neck Deep, and I think we'll have some fun for sure.
Very cool. Now, the last thing I want to ask is, knowing that you were a film student back in your college days, and then seeing the new Pieces of You video, My question is, like, with all of, because you've been pretty prolific in releasing music videos over the year. How hands on are you with the sort of the whole process from ideation to actually shooting these videos?
Yeah, so I feel like it's dependent on my schedule, really. Like, am I recording a record? Am I about to go on tour? I've done everything from, I've directed, shot, edited, color corrected, done everything on my own music videos to, just having an idea and sending that to a production company and seeing that come to life. So it always depends. With Pieces of You, I had an idea and I had some sort of rough storyline that I sent over, and then Max Moore, who's an amazing director, sort of curated it and brought it to life. But yeah, I mean, my parents would be happy to know that my film degree isn't completely useless. So
Very cool. Well, Joe, thank you so much again for taking the time today. I know it's a busy day for you doing a lot of press, and you've got a show tonight. Check out All Time Low and Nothing Nowhere live at Town Ballroom tonight in Buffalo, New York. Pieces of Me is the new single. It's available everywhere. The video is everywhere. I look forward to what comes next, sir, and I hope that we can do this again when that next thing does happen. Break a leg tonight, and thank you again for your time.
absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Joe. Take care, brother.
All right. See ya.